Hello again, and welcome to another Microphone Monday. I'm professional voiceover artist John Bailey, and today I'm going to be talking about creating characters as far as placement goes. But before I get started in placement, there's a couple little tiny tricks that will help just general voiceover questions. Always check your levels first, because you don't want to make sure that you don't have too much bass, and you don't want to make that you don't have too much treble, because you can hear a big difference, can't you? Yeah. Always check your levels, or if you're in a studio, they will ask you to check levels until you get one that sounds good like that. Ah, that feels good right there. That's a nice, good sound. I think I like that sound. Nice green sound. So anyways, you also want to check your volume, make sure it doesn't spike too much, and you want to make sure it's not too quiet where you can't hear anything. So always check your levels before you get started doing anything else. Also, check how close you are to the microphone, because when you're this close, all your P's and your Q's and your T's, they can always be picked up really well. So you can either play directly in front of the microphone, but as I prefer to play to the side of the microphone, because when you play to the side, your P's don't go straight into the mic, and you don't pick up the P sound or the S or the T. See what I mean? Okay. Now you get all the clicks and pops and stuff out of the way. Always make sure you don't wear this kind of pants. Those are swishy jogging running pants. I wore those on purpose because I can show you how loud they are. If you happen to be moving in the studio, you can get all that loud background noise. Also, make sure that your cell phone is turned off, which mine is not right now, so I'm going to turn it down. Do not put it on vibrate, because the phone will pick it up. Put it on phone off. Just see, the ringer volume is on mute. That's vibrate. That's mute. Do not put it on vibrate. Then make sure that you're not going to be distracted. Make sure you don't have any keys or any loose change in your pocket. If you have a drink, I suggest you drink between takes, and make sure you don't have any ice in your drinks, because it will click, 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 and it will swish. And if you have soda, you're going to hear that from the soda. So drink water, no ice. Alrighty, placement. Placement is really important in creating characters, because where you place the voice, and I know you're thinking, oh, your voice comes from your throat, duh, comes out of your mouth, what do you mean placement? But yes, but you can place a voice anywhere. We learned this in, again, if you have music theory training, this should be easy for you, because you learn in music theory, when you want to place a note up high, you think right here, you want to put the voice way up there. But if you want to place a voice right here, guess where the placement is? It's right here in my nose. That's where the placement is for that kind of voice. But then you want to place a voice right here, guess where that placement is? It's right here. So your regular voice is placed in your mouth, but you can move it here, you can move it here, you can move it back here, or you can move it way down here, where that's where we call the diaphragm location, way down deep in the chest, in the diaphragm. Actually, if you hear Peter Cullen, whenever he talks about doing Optimus Prime, he talks about, I want to take the voice and place it down here, way down deep in the chest. And that's exactly where I place it. I don't put the voice in my throat. A lot of people have problems with Megatron's voice, the original G1 Megatron's voice, because they think it requires you to talk like this all the time. And what they're doing wrong is they're placing too much in the throat, when actually Frank Welker places it further down in the chest with just a hint of raspiness. Ah, Dr. Arkeville. See, it does have a little bit of throat, but it's actually more further down in here. That way he doesn't disrupt the vocal cords when he talks. So there's quite a few voices that, Frank Welker does that voice very well, because he doesn't kill himself when he does it. A lot of people are like, oh, my throat hurts, I can't do that voice. Well, then find a different way to place it, or don't try it at all, because you don't want to do a voice that damages your voice, especially if you're doing it for a living like I am. If you do a voice that hurts yourself, you're going to mess yourself up on being paid for a job in the future. Pat Fraley does a great job on placement when he talks about creating characters. They do a lot of improv, and they say to come up with a cool character voice, you can always pretend like a certain part of your body feels a certain way. Like if you want to pretend somebody's just jabbed you in the stomach with a hot poker. Oh man, it hurts so bad, and you come up with a cool voice, but you're placing your imagination, you're focusing on different parts of your body to come up with different kinds of voices. So placement is very, very important in coming up with cool character voices, because if it's placed wrong, if SpongeBob's voice was placed down the back of his throat, SpongeBob would sound a lot like SpongeBob's dad, yeah. But if you take SpongeBob's nose and place it right here, there it is. Bah! So there's a big difference in placement. And like I said, music theory helps a lot, because, to place it up here, you want to go up here, or you want to go way down here. So it's all about placement. And you can place it just about anywhere, believe it or not. If you place the voice in the side of your cheeks, you get this pudgy kind of fat fellow kind of sound. The placement's all here in the cheeks with the purple hair. So yeah, make sure you place your voice somewhere and you come up with a cool character voice. And these tips aren't just for people who are trying to get into this industry for a living. I did these voices way before I got paid for it. You can do these voices just reading to children, reading to yourself, and record yourself. I used to record myself on a Fisher-Price tape recorder, doing different voices for the characters in the story. So this can be fun for anybody. Kids love when you read to them. And you never know. You might inspire somebody one day to get into the business, like what Peter Cullen did for me. So hopefully this week I helped you out. And remember those tips about getting ready before you record, if you're going to do this for a recording, and about placement. Always place your voice where you want it to be in order to get the sound that you want. You may find that a voice sounds better if you place it in a different area. So there you go. Stay tuned next week. I'll have more tips for you. Bye!
Insert shameless rabbit, the insert comic plug right here, yes.